Hey, welcome everyone to Behavior Code. This is the Behavior Code podcast. I'm joined by the monster, Adam Ferguson. He's from Virginia. I'm coming at you from San Jose. I'm Yogi Chris, PhD, the host and sponsor of these podcasts, and this is Behavior Code. So if you catch this on YouTube or wherever, Spotify, Apple, subscribe. So we got Adam, and Adam has come to Beast Camp and immediately AZD, you know, my teacher and mentor and founder of this process, the IMC process, integrated martial arts concepts. Arash Sapardibazar, my teacher, he sees Adam, and Adam stays for residency over Beast Camp, this 3-day event in San Jose at the temple here. This is the house that we formed into a temple, and everything, man, you just feel it. Everything is ritualized. Every corner has been, anointed with intention and presence, you know, so it's been energized. So this is the temple. Adam comes here. He stays overnight for those 3 days, 3 nights at the Beast Camp. This was September Beast Camp. Finally, when AZD gets around to interacting with Adam, there's a pause, there's a calm, there's a poignancy, there's a relaxation and a certainty, but also there's a fearlessness that AZD found, that there was no fear in interacting with him, even though there was no aggression. I didn't pick up any aggression in interacting with him either. It was very eerie almost. And so AZD comes to name Adam the monster. And it reminded me, as soon as he said that, it reminded me of there's this movie with a giant monster in Greek mythology, where the guy cuts off the head of Medusa and then freezes this giant water monster that came up. Anyway, you reminded me of the giant water monster. I'll look it up while you're talking. I'll find this. But so here's Adam. Adam helps a lot of male youth in encouragement and personal development. He himself went through some serious personal development, pre-teens on through teens, and now as an adult, and you have a child, and you have I don't know if it's wife. I think it's wife, right? And so we're going to catch up with Adam and see your perspectives on the nature's code and your experiences.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right on. Well, so what's going on with you, Adam? When you say nature's code and your experience, what comes to mind for you?
Man, just living as one with nature, you know, in tune with nature, you know, in tune with our genetic code and the behavior code, as far as, you know, what a man actually is, you know, and how a man is to be from nature's perspective, from the genetic level.
Break that down for us. So make it simple for me. I totally agree with you, but I'm hearing in your voice that it's like, man, I can hear anybody being persuaded by your voice. What does that mean, Adam? What is genetic code? What do you mean according to nature and genetic code?
So I can say for myself, you know, growing up in this artificial environment that we live in, you know, I didn't know exactly what it was, but I never felt right. It always felt like something was wrong. I know now that's because mankind, human beings, were not meant to live in this type of artificial system that we're in today. I know that now, but as a child, I didn't know what that was. I just knew I didn't feel right. So, like, similar to if you were to see a pride of lions living in the zoo, you know, we all know the true nature, the true environment for a lion is out in nature, you know, roaming thousands of square miles, living by their instincts, you know, connected to their inner being, their drive, their essence, you know. But when you see those same lions in the zoo, I mean, how sad that is, you know. So
that's real sad.
I feel that for us as well, you know, we're in that same situation, whereas we've been born into captivity. We've been born into this pen where we're boxed in. But all of our instincts, our true nature is meant to be free, you know, to be at peace with nature, to live in nature, you know, to be outside. So growing up, I always felt that something was wrong, you know, until as I started to grow and to learn, you know, then that's when I became aware that actually we're off of nature's code.
Yeah, I feel that. There's a lot of me getting in tune with nature. A lot of interesting things happen, especially like raising the chickens here at the base, sleeping in a tent outside. I just made a campground, so I'm going to be even closer to the ground now. Like I was on a platform before, and everything you're talking about, and even looking at the sky, looking into the heavens, at the stars, feeling the depth of the atmosphere. Just today, I saw, oh my God, this was incredible. Fernando pointed out these, he says they're crows. I was so fucking impressed. God damn it, they were so high. And then when you look at one and your eyes acclimate, you saw another one behind it. I was like, whoa, look at that one. It's right there. No, look through it. It's like a little past, a little higher. And then as you zoom in with that and just your eyes acclimate, you see another fucking black speck fucking flying behind it even higher in the clouds, like contrasted on the white background. God damn it. Over and over again, I saw a higher one, a further one, and then I realized they're spiraling. They're catching the upwelling or the uprising of the hot air as the sun finally came out. And they're spiraling so far up there. They go past the clouds, man. They're so high up there. I was estimating the whole time with that one is like 100 meters up. That one's like 150 meters. Man, it got to the point where I swear this motherfucking crow or whatever it was 1.5 kilometers in the air at least. And then when it got to the top of the spiral, it just went off. After it got to the top, it then just didn't spiral anymore. And it just coasted and it went off into the distance, into like the sunset or whatever. Over the mountains, like it just rode the wave, and then it coasted for off past the trees. I didn't even see it. It went forever. It was 1.5 kilometers up there, and I was like, man, that thing's got to be seeing so sharply from up here. Just the nature of things is so awe-inspiring, and I'm so out of touch with my nature when I became self-aware of myself, because I was like a computerized techno, wrestling. Like there are some natural elements to all this stuff, like solving problems or grappling, fighting. There's like naturalness, but like let's put on our shoes and measure our weight first, and let's make sure we warm up, and let's drill some techniques, and then and that's getting pretty close to nature. But what have you discovered about your nature as a man, or what would you share with the audience that you like? When I present a problem to people, I don't like to just give them the problem. Like, hey, you fell off your nature. You fell off your nature. Hey, don't you know you're not living naturally? At some point, I want to give them a solution, like do this, do that. This will, or whatever, some exercise to help them get back to their nature. Like, what would you say if I wanted to get more in tune with my nature? What should I do?
So in nature, I'm speaking from the male perspective as a man. In nature, the role of the male is to protect and to provide for his family or for his tribe, for the pride. So number one, before everything else, we're the protectors. We're the protectors in nature.
Protector. Yeah, I feel that, That's, I think, something men don't hear enough growing up. They don't hear enough words describing what their true natural role would be, given that they have a different set of abilities that are different. That everybody can basically do everything. Men and women can basically do everything, but men seem to be better at those things as on average, as a whole. And, the best men are way, 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 way better. So when we talk about being a protector, that's dope. What is it? I would almost go deeper into that. Like, what are some things that would help men become more protective in a natural way?
So to become more protective in a natural way, the first thing is that we all have control over is, number one, how we exercise our body. So for us, that's going to be the Beast Routine, so that physically we're prepared and capable to protect when the time comes. So number one, the first thing in our control is physically, how we prepare our body, how we strengthen our body. You know, so that's the first thing, is how we prepare our body. You know, next is gonna be, I would say, your mind, you know, because we have to be aware. We have to be able to see what's going on around us, you know, and be the first to notice any sign of danger or a potential threat. So to be aware of your environment, you know, and what's going on around you, what could potentially happen.
Yeah, man, it was always embarrassing. It's always embarrassing when the girl that I'm with points out something dangerous before I noticed it. Like, it's one thing she's somewhere else doing something else and she's like, hey, this dangerous thing just happened. Okay, I'm not at the store with you. I don't know. But when you're like walking arm in arm with me and I'm like in my own head about something and she's like points that out, or some compromising person or a situation or even a car coming or something. And it's like, man, that's not good. Every now and then it happens, whatever. But, you know, but that protective nature, I don't feel. How much would she feel? I don't think she would feel like she lost or lesser if I was to point out some danger in the environment she was not aware of. You know, unless it's like totally foolish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I want to know more about your teaching young men, because this is something I really admire. I don't know that it's something I'm capable of. I'm sure you and many people would say you're capable of it. I just want to. I coach wrestling and younger guys and younger kids and even college people, and I've always mentored people. Now, but that you do, I think it's a needed thing about like how you got started in that and like what you do with these guys.
Okay, so I'll start with the why. The why I feel the way I feel about mentorship and why it's so important, especially for men.
Did you hear all that? It set up my internet connection.
So just go ahead. Should I go ahead? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Got it. So my why. So for me, as a young person living in this artificial environment, you know, you look at a lion in the zoo or any animal that's meant to be living in the wild, and you see them caged up in a small space. You know, they have to be going crazy. They have to be going crazy because we are not meant to be confined to a cell, to a box, you know? So for me, that's how I was growing up. You know, I had so much mental anguish that I was just looking for a way to escape. I wanted to escape because it was just too much. I knew it wasn't right. I didn't know why. And I needed an escape. So the easiest way for me to do that was by getting high. You know, first with alcohol and then with drugs. So from a young age, looking for an escape, you know, running to alcohol, to the drugs, something that could ease my mind, that could make me feel good, you know, something to take away all the mental anguish and the uncertainty, you know, the feeling that things just aren't right, you know, and that's what the drugs and alcohol did. You know, they ease my mind for a moment, But what I never knew, what I didn't realize was how destructive that would be in the long run. I didn't know that that was going to destroy my life. So what ended up happening is I ended up addicted on drugs. So I'm getting high every day, and my life is beginning to fall apart. You know, everything that I love is beginning, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. My family, my freedom, you know, my mind. So I never realized what would happen from me trying to escape. So thankfully, you know, at my lowest moment, you know, when all hope was gone, when my life was just completely ruined, at my lowest moment, there was a man. There was a man who came and helped me out. You know, he talked to me. He let me know that I could do it, that I'm better than this, that there's a future for me. You know, he showed me the love that he had. You know, he showed me what it means to really be a man and be about something. You know, and he told me, you know, the truth about drugs, you know, the truth. So it was that man who really helped me, you know, number one, to pick myself up, you know, to stop using, to stop getting high, and kind of help me to set me on the right path. So, man, without that man coming into my life, I have no, I would not be where I'm at today. I don't know where I would be because my life was, it was terrible. You know, I was in constant pain. You know, I've been, you know, arrested, losing my mind, put in a mental institution, you know, kicked out of my house. Just everything that could happen, my life was ruined. It looked like on the outside, it looked like my life was ruined. So, like that one man who came into my life and encouraged me and talked to me, you know, took me out to eat, spent time with me, invested in me as a man. It was just that one man, and it made such a big impact on my life because, you know, with that encouragement, I was able to start moving in the right direction. You know, things didn't change overnight, but over time, you know, I became stronger and stronger. I became better and better one day at a time. So, and that was basically the turning point that led me on the path to where I'm at today. So I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful that there was a mentor, that there was a strong man who was there, you know, to pick me up when I was down. You know, because if there was nobody to pick me up, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. So, man, I see from myself, from my own life, you know, how big a role, how important a role that we can play in another young man's life. You know, just by taking the time to talk to them, to encourage them. Like it's nothing special. It's not like you have to do A, B, C, D, and E. All you have to do is take a little bit of time, an hour, and consistently, you know, talk to that young person, encourage that young person, motivate them, you know, give them ideas, help them to improve themselves and help them to make a little money and kind of lead them along the right path. Just basically just live your life and let them watch you, let them see you. You know, it's nothing, it's not hard at all, you know, and it's something that all of us can do. So that's what gives me the passion to go ahead and be a mentor. It's that, you know, there was a man who helped save my life, and I know that because of that, you know, it's only right that it's my responsibility to do the same thing for another young person whose life is in danger, whose life is right on the edge. You know, one wrong decision, and you can lose your life. You could lose your life. You can end up in jail forever. Like it only takes one decision and you fuck. One decision. So there's so many young people, so many young men who are just one decision away from ruining their life, from making a mistake that you can never come back from. So it's important. It's important for us that we just go ahead and be that encouragement to the young people, the young men who are in our environment. You know, so that's where I started, just within my own environment. You know, I saw a young man who needed some help, who didn't have a male role model to follow, and I just started showing up, spending time with him, acting like a older brother. And from there, you know, I was able to see his life change, and it just everything started from that. And you know, the other young people to come, it all started right there, just by helping one person, and it's kept on going since then.
Hey, hey, you can hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Fucking A. I heard a lot of that. It came in and out. Very motivating. It made me immediately think of karma and the karma of communication. When you can bring order to somebody's mind, then you really save them a lot of future suffering that the chaos of their mind would have brought them. And in a way, in the interchange, you know, a person's inability to acknowledge you or their inability to control their emotions, and so they end up taking out, they express their emotions onto you like you were somehow the source of it, but really it's their mind kicking their ass and wherever they're coming from in their day, in their life. And so that's their chaos. When you bring them some order, you order their chaos, they also bring you their chaos. So you brought them order, they brought you chaos. So there's a karma exchange. And, you know, but the ability to influence and have power over, let's say, a younger man that's developing, that you can be more cause over, man, and steer their development. And I'm sure I grow grass, and just seeing the grass grow is fulfilling. I'm sure fucking seeing a young man grow into a full man with your guidance, and you even see where your own mistakes are, because they'll come back at you with some teaching that you taught them, and you'll be like, damn, did I say that? Or you know, sometimes you'll correct them, but sometimes it'll be like, you'll see how wrong the philosophy is when you hear it from someone else. But you know, anyway, that happened to me. Has that ever happened to you? Am I just blowing smoke? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm a little nervous about continuing, honestly, because I kept going in and out of service. So I was like, I have like one bar right now, but I want to keep hearing from you. Let's maybe. So here's what we'll do. You've been coming to the Beast Camp. It was unheard of. I hadn't seen it. First time Arash meeting you and said, come back to Beast Camps, be on staff, come for free. You just get yourself here. And he had just delivered that kind of treatment to Johnny Freedom Ranger the month before in August, because Johnny had done something really powerful in his repelling of a cop, a police officer. You know, like when we talk about being protective and being protective in the mind, like knowing how to communicate in a way that repels danger from your environment without necessarily giving like overt threats, like I'm going to kick your ass. And that definitely kind of communication that'll do that. But let's say knowing the laws and statutes that make someone nervous to be around you, testing you, that also repels them. That's what Johnny did. So Ross was so impressed by that. He gave Johnny free Beast Camps. And I was like, whoa, dude. And that was after, you know, he paid for that Beast Camp. And then he did that with you, but on first meeting you, on the first time meeting you. So because Johnny had been around already like twice, 2 or 3 times before that. So that's super cool. And, you know, it was really legendary to see. It's very powerful for me to witness. I see a lot, you know, coming through the temple. Everybody, I got a story about basically everybody. And even the people that aren't. And I got a story about John. I got a story about, you know, everybody that's on here. Not that it's the story or it's your story. It's just my perspective of like the experience of you, which is very interesting because it's contrasted with all of the rest of you. And it's really fun, really cool position to be in. So where do you see the future? What's in store for the future for Adam Ferguson? I mean, you're like a very motivating speaker, and you have a particular target demographic. Like, what do you see you doing in the next 6 months or 6 years or whatever?
I mean, well, first and foremost, man, I'm grateful to be home. Like IMC Nation, that's home. This is what I've been looking for, you know. So after following online for almost a year, just to actually be here now and among these strong, powerful men, like I have so much love for everybody that we've met and talked at the Beast Camp, and you know, it's like a real brotherhood. So first and foremost, you know, it's IMC Nation. It's IMC Nation. Like there's no price that you can put on what I've gained since being a part of this movement. You know, there's no price on that. So, man, as far as myself personally, yeah, I'm looking to, just keep on going, keep beasting out, you know, becoming stronger every day, like improving my communication every day, and just going out. And when I go out into the world, it's just to be a force wherever I'm at, that you feel me, you know. So when I come, even if I don't say anything, just my presence, I want people to feel me, you know. And IMC Nation, you know, what I've learned from Araj, from all my brothers here, you know, I finally have a clear path as far as how I can do that. So with that, man, I'm gonna keep working with the young men, you know. Like some of the young men I've been working with now, they're getting older, like 18, 19. So it's a whole different stage now. Like, you know, it's about making money. It's about being independent. So I've been working with that too. That's new. Up until this point, it's been like, you know, high school, but now we're middle school, high school, but now we're talking about really, like really, it's now's the time to be the man, you know. So it is like I'm focused on being the example, you know, being an example that they can follow. So it's not even so much what I say to them anymore. It's like, hey, you're gonna come with me today. And that I can live in such a way that just by coming with me, just by spending that time with me, that you have a much better understanding of what you need to do in order to be independent. Like that's for the young men, for the young men. So I want to take that as far as it'll go and just continue to work with young people, you know, like being encouragement, you know. But the main thing is just like being all that you can be. For myself, being all that I can be, you know, be the best version of myself possible. Like just extinguish, like cut out all the bitching. You know, I just want to be a straight up beast, you know, and just live in that. So just by living, you know, being that example, you know, and what's meant to be, what's meant to be will be. And the people that you're meant to reach, you know, that's how it goes.
Man, that's powerful. I love the riffing and the flow of words. I encourage everybody to sign up for the Beast Camp and sign up now. There's going to be a special lecture that AZD is going to give. I think he's going to give it to us privately here at the base camp, and then I'll add it to the bonus material for the thing. There'll be some sort of like time window of like sign up now, put some money down. Everybody here should sign up. Everybody online, you should sign up. There's people on Instagram and Facebook, you should sign up. If you can't come live, start online. It's going to change you. And wherever you're at, if you're an entrepreneur, you make more money. If you're not an entrepreneur, you'll see avenues to make money or where money is available to you, because it's time to invest in yourself so that you can level up, because the information is going to change your life. The money doesn't change your life. You just use money to buy experiences. But if you can get the experience, it's the gift that keeps giving. It's the tree that keeps blossoming fruit. That you learn something in your experience that then you can create more experiences for yourself, not just consume. I mean, this is what you want to invest in, especially all the people watching this demographic on. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, subscribe. Go to nightlim.com. You'll see the San Jose Temple there. Check it out. Sign up online. Everybody here should be signing up. We're going to do Q&A also for the audience. I'm going to end the recording. Guys, if you're watching the recording, this is the benefit of join newsletter so that you know this is happening. So go to nightlim.com, find the podcast, you sign up for the newsletter. And thanks, Adam. We're going to stay on and see if there's any questions. I'm sure there's a bunch of people online here that are from Beast Camp, so they'll ask questions, new guys. And so any last words for the recording? How can they find you? And if this has moved somebody, how can they find you and communicate with you? What's the best way?
Definitely. The best way is to find me on Instagram. That's Adam's House on Instagram. And man, Yo, there's no price. There's no price that you can put on freedom. You know, freedom is priceless. It's priceless. You can't put a price tag on it. So I'm referring to the boot camp, you know, and coming in person, like just being there at the boot camp. Like there's nothing else that can compare with the freedom I've gained from coming in person. You know, so I can't say enough, but like you just gotta come. You gotta come. If you're thinking about it, come. Like it's amazing. Like spirit, I'm talking about spiritually. Spiritually, you'll find the greatest sense of freedom, greater than you ever knew existed. So, man, there's no price you can put on that, because when you're free inside and spiritually you're centered and you're grounded, I mean, there's nothing that can break you. Nothing. Nothing. So, man, be the best and fuck the rest, man. Be the best you can be. And if you can make it out in person, you have to. You have to. Don't, yeah.
Man, there you have it. That's powerful. All right. Well, thank you, Adam. And we'll have Adam back and see you on the next recording. All right. Os.
Oh.